Yeah, it's a beautiful day in paradise, let me tell you. It's beautiful and sunny and hot, and it's supposed to get up to 27, 28 degrees Celsius today. So it's great weather for going to the beach, which is exactly what I did last weekend. Went to the beach with some friends, and something happened to me while I was at the beach that really made me sort of think about my own motivation and what drives me. And I wanted to tell you the story about what happened. It's nothing huge. Some friends of my friends showed up that I'd never met before, and they sat with us for a couple of hours, and we did some, minor chit-chat and stuff, and played ball and went swimming and stuff like that. So at a certain point I went for a swim, and when I got out of the water, instead of laying on my blanket and get my blanket all wet, I kind of stood in the sun for 15 minutes and just let the sun dry me before I laid down. So I spent some time, just standing there in my bikini, just with making small chit-chat with everybody that was there. And then by the end of the day, it was time for everybody to go, when we were all saying, it was nice to meet you, it's nice to meet you, shaking hands, nice to meet you too, nice to meet you. And one of the guys that whose hand I was shaking and saying nice to meet you, instead of saying it's nice to meet you too, his response to me was, you have an awesome body. And, I don't think he was hitting on me. I really didn't get that sense at all. It was in front of everybody that was there, and I think he was just being sincere and letting me know, giving me a compliment, and it really made me feel good. And this kind of thing doesn't happen very often. It happens sometimes. Once in a while, if I go to a commercial gym or something, someone, one of the ladies there will come up to me and tell me, that I look great, or ask me how I got so fit, or tell me how strong they think they think I am. Or once in a while, one of the guys will come over and try and sneak a peek at the program I'm working, which is a program I wrote for myself. But or ask me, who writes my programs or whatever, or one guy once told me he thought I was a machine after watching me work out a bit. So, like I said, this doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, it really feels like really, really good. And it's one of the things that actually drives me now. After we were leaving the beach, I told my friend, that guy, he just made my day. I've got a huge smile on my face after that little interaction. And it's one of the things that motivates me now, is to know that I've worked this hard to get where I'm at, and I know I look good, and I'm not trying to brag or boast here or anything, but I've worked hard for this, so I feel like I've earned the right to admit that I know I look good. And whenever I feel like slacking off, I tap back into the feeling of knowing that I've worked so hard to look like this. I'm not going to let that go now, so even when I don't feel like working out one day or whatever, I still let that drive me and get me out there, because I've worked far too hard to let it slide now. And quite frankly, the feeling that guy gave me, just by giving me that off-the-cuff compliment, felt better to me than the taste of any food out there. And it feels way better than the comfort of lying on the couch watching TV, too. It's just one of those things that just, it really makes you feel great. And it really makes you want to not just lie on the couch all the time, sit and eat potato chips all the time, and get your comfort from things that can harm you. I get my comfort from that feeling of knowing that I worked hard to get here, and it feels good to be here. So, Kate Moss once said, she's very famous for this line, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. I think that's a bit extreme. I don't like the word skinny. But I think, nothing tastes as good as being fit feels, or being healthy feels. So, she's got a point, though. You can have a fleeting moment of glory with a bag of potato chips, or you can have a fleeting moment of discomfort by going for a run. And what are the two different results you're going to get? Anyway, nothing tastes as good as being fit feels. Anyway, I just wanted to share that story. Again, I didn't tell it to brag or to boast or to be an egomaniac about anything, but just to let you know that the harder you work, the closer you get to your goals, and the better you feel, and the better the reaction of the world around you to the way you look feels as well. And it really, really is very motivating. So keep at it. Just always keep at it. Remember that. And if you keep working towards your goals, you can't help but get there eventually, right? So anyway, that's it for today. I gotta go. We'll see you soon. Take care.